Shalom. Thanks for joining me. I'm continuing in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, and I'm part into the Sermon on the Mount, which is Jesus's instructions to his followers. I just finished the Beatitudes, and now beginning in Matthew chapter 5, verse 13, we pick up with the next part of the sermon. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people put a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Now here Jesus is comparing his followers, his Talmudim, his apprentices, his disciples, to both salt and light. And he makes a warning. If the salt could lose its saltiness, it wouldn't be of any value. It wouldn't be of any use. That's an interesting concept. Can you, who are a follower of Jesus, could you lose your saltiness? It's an interesting expression. Salt is used to flavor things. Salt is used to preserve things. So your presence as a believer and as a follower of Jesus has a way of influencing the world around you, people around you, your family, your co-workers, your schoolmates, your neighborhood, etc. Your country, your state, your city. Your influence as a believer in Christ, just by living the characteristics that were listed earlier in the Beatitudes, just by living life that way, you would be an influence to the world around you. You would flavor the world around you. And it's important for you to live that life so that you don't lose your salt, your saltiness, because it wouldn't be of any value to anyone. It's one thing if you're just a nice person. It's not the same as being a follower of Jesus and living your life as a follower of Jesus, obviously being a follower of Jesus. Verse 14 talks about the light of the world, and he talks about how a town, if it's a dark night and there's a town on a hill, you can see the lamps and the lights in everybody's houses. So it becomes really obvious as you're approaching a town, a city on a hill at night, that there's a settlement there. There's people there because you can see the lights. And then he says, you are the light. If you're my follower, if you belong to me, you are the light. You have an obligation to let your light shine before people. And it's interesting because he's saying, now he's not saying be braggadocious, arrogant, shove it down people's throat. He's saying the lifestyle that you live it obviously that you belong to Jesus, that you are a follower of Jesus, that you are a Talmudim, an apprentice of Jesus. Live that life openly. And when you do that, you're like a lamp that's been put up on a stand that lights a whole room. Instead of somebody taking your light, you taking your light and hiding it so that nobody knows you belong to Jesus. This is not what Jesus is saying. Jesus is saying, if you're going to be my follower, your light, in other words, your good works, the lifestyle that you live, needs to be obvious that you belong to me. You are living this lifestyle because you belong to me. So other people will see this, and they will glorify your Father in heaven. They'll not look at you and glorify you. They'll be glorifying your God, your Father in heaven. Live your life in such a way that you are salt and life. Jesus is teaching his disciples that truth about being in the kingdom. Thank you for joining me.